Trevin Moore with Mooral Fishing. Really don't know how to start this video off. It's been like 6 months since my last video. Yeah, 6 months? Yeah, 6 months. So, figured it was time for a bit of an update to see, kind of give everyone a gauge of where I've been since my last video and what has happened since then. So this is going to be a really just quick put together video. We just got back from the lake last night, really late from fishing. So I'll just go step by step from where I was at the point of my last video. So last time when I made the video, I was still going to go to the TAA tournament in Lake Lanier, Georgia. Well, that happened. We went down, we gathered up the money that we needed, we went down and we did the tournament. And that was a learning experience that I never thought I'd have. And it was very, very humbling. Like, I've never gotten that close to wanting to quit this thing entirely. Then right after that tournament. To put it bluntly, I went out and zeroed every day. I didn't catch anything, got a lot of bites, but never set anything. And it was just brutal. You know, it beat me down. After day one, I thought, all right, that's fine. You know, that happens to the best of us sometimes. You know, whatever, I got till tomorrow. I can figure it out. It's not a big deal. Let's go do this. Day two. At least catch a fish. I won't make top 10 or top 12. But I can get some stuff out there and catch some bass. Well, I changed my game plan just a little bit and tried it again. And either I was in a rush or I wasn't setting the hook too soon or something. But it was like every fish I hooked popped off. And it's like everything that I didn't want to go wrong went wrong. And looking back on it now, I realize exactly what went wrong from day one. The biggest thing that went wrong on day one of the tournament itself was I went out there with the mindset of it's just the same lake as the ones I fished back home. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two is not realizing that I'm not quite up to par with this level of competition yet. And so I went out there with these high expectations of being that underdog that does really well. And I put all of that pressure on me to perform, which means every little fish was like life or death. And it made me perform very crappy. Like setting hooks way too soon, working baits way too fast, moving from spots way too quickly, not slowing down and observing the fish that are there or the cover that's there, just rushing from spot to spot to spot to spot to spot to try to get something going, you know. And that's when I learned the true benefit of a practice day before you go to a lake. And then the last thing that went wrong was my equipment and my mindset. So those 5 things kind of slapped together to put me in a hole of just not being in the right mindset. You know, the mindset matters everything on these tournaments because you can go out there on a practice day and not catch a damn thing. And that was one of my best tournaments at Truman Reservoir when we went out there and we had a crap practice. We didn't catch any goddamn thing, but we still did good on the tournament itself. It was awesome. It was great. But back to the whole mindset thing. I need to. I knew getting back here I needed to work on something, but I didn't know what it was, and I was too wrapped up in what just happened and how that impacted me that after day one and day two, I just wanted to quit. I just wanted to drop this whole thing by itself, and it took me a really big while to get over that. You know, because not only did I not catch anything, but my girlfriend went out there and she caught something, right? And she was just messing around on the corner, just caught something and caught a 3-pounder, you know? And yeah, I just wanted to drop it, never even worry about these tournaments again, sell the boat, be done with it, right? That's where I was at. And then after sitting here gathering myself and being like, what the hell am I being such a whiny baby about it for? Yes, I got skunked 2 days in a row. Yes, I just lost $5,000 on an entry fee. But then I asked myself, what'd you learn from it? What'd you learn from it? So I picked it up, and now not only am I going to continue this stuff, but now I got an even better game plan going in to next year's series of tournaments, which I'm going to be fishing the MLF Okie Division BFLs this coming year. And I've made some changes. I got some big changes coming up. I've picked up a few new lures that I really like that have turned into confidence baits since then. The same old flipping and pitching is still my bread and butter, and a wacky rig is still my favorite bait to pitch under docks. That hasn't changed. But I've picked up, and I'm extremely comfortable, with a swim jig. That's something I'm really big on now. A soft plastic jerkbait is another thing that I'm extremely comfortable with, and a topwater spook is still one of my favorite baits to bounce around in the middle of the morning. And I've gotten into big swim baits. So that'll be starting anywhere between January and February of the coming year. We haven't got the 2025 schedule pushed out yet, but I have also upgraded boats. So now not only do I have a much faster boat, but I have a slightly larger boat that can help me keep up with the competition. I know I didn't show you guys in the last video the boat that I have, but to fill you in on that, what I did have at the time was a 2003 Bass Tracker Pro Team 175, aluminum boat. Not a big boat at all, and it had a 750 horsepower on the back, so kind of a slow boat, especially for these larger bodies of water. And I didn't have anything special like spot lock or anything like that on the trolling motor. It was just a 5X foot controlled trolling motor with variable speed. So lots of upgrades on the boat side. Here in just a minute, I'll take you all outside and I'll actually show you what I'm running now, and then the future upgrades I plan on doing on this boat for the upcoming season. And I lost my train of thought. But I got a lot of things coming up in the Okie Division this year. I've been studying the lakes heavy, making waypoints already for myself that I can kind of look at and gauge based on the weather and the weather changes and weather patterns, shallow areas, deep areas, now that I have spot lock, and different terrains down there, what's common. I've been reading fishing reports on all 3 of the lakes, Grand Lake, Eufaula, all of them, to really try to figure out what's going on down there in Oklahoma. And one of the positives from the Touring Anglers Association's tournament was this was my first experience with really crystal clear water. And what I've picked up from that is a few baits that work really well down there and baits that make me comfortable. And I found the depth range that I like when fishing shallow water like that in crystal clear water. So with that, I'm looking forward to the Okie Division being my actual boater debut tournament in MLF, with the goal of making at least just the regional on my opening year, which would be outstanding, just making it there. If I don't make it, my only other goal is to at least finish in the top 50. If I don't make that, well, then I need to regress and retest something and see what's going on so I can really get things going. But with that being said, let's head outside and check out the boat. Okay, and we're back. All right. So now we're outside my house. This is the boat I'll be using for the Okie Division and the MLF tournaments in 2025. So starting in February and January, like I said. As you can see, I upgraded to a 175, so we needed more horsepower to really keep up with those faster boats at Lake Lanier, which I could not do. So those guys can make longer runs faster, which means we always got last pick for spots. So this will help minimize that happening. The whole boat itself, if I can quit getting bugs leaving on, 18.6 feet, so definitely an upgrade, way more sturdy in the water. Check this out. This is a huge upgrade. Much larger live well all the way across the side of the boat. Really helps out. So the co-anglers hopping on the boat, they have their own room over there. It's a built-in divider in the middle. That'll really help us out. Now, I mentioned future upgrades before the next season that are still possible. We'll see how things play out. I want to get rid of the Lawrence and upgrade to at least a Helix 9 or a Helix 10 standing up here. But that's all hearsay. It's all, we'll see how it works out. Okay, let me hop up here real quick. Standard with most bigger boats, of course, we got the rod lockers. Hold up a 13 rods, which is definitely helpful. Because my other one, they didn't. We just kind of crammed them in there and hope for the best. Enough storage to choke a horse, and I need to organize it, so don't look in there. A little bit of tackle. We'll add more during the tournaments, but like I said, we just got back from the lake, so everything's a little exploded right now. The biggest upgrade that we've done from the last tournament is right here. I wanted to upgrade to something with spot lock. That was my biggest thing. Not only does this do that, but once I get another helix up here, another bracket, I'll be able to stay on contours for fishing up shallow like I want. Which makes all the difference in the world, especially in heavy wind. So the Minn Kota Travora, is one of the biggest upgrades I've needed to fish the way I want to in these tournaments. Right now we're just running a Garmin. Came with the boat. I'm still figuring out how to use this Garmin. I had another Garmin before. This will be a huge. It's fiddling with it. I'll figure it out. But this is what we're running now. Nice little wide view. It's really pretty. The biggest little thing I think I left showing off is finally able to get my decals put on and actually put on the boat. Which makes it feel more like mine. So hopefully I'll be able to run this for the next 4 or 5 years until it finally tries to give out. But if not, well, I'll upgrade as needed. But I'll follow up with another follow-up video and another update video later on. Until then, this has been Travis Moore with Mooral Fishing. I'll talk to you later.